Hey there, welcome to this wonderful session on basics of data analysis using Microsoft Excel. In this course, we'll be understanding what Microsoft Excel is and understanding how to analyze data with Microsoft Excel. What is Excel? Excel is a spreadsheet package that contains various sheets which allows you to organize data in columns and rows. It also allows you to do mathematical functions like the linear function, the absolute value function, the cube functions, the square functions. You can name any mathematical functions. Interestingly, Microsoft Excel is a formula language, and the users of Microsoft Excel can be referred to as formula programmers. Why? Because for you to achieve any results in Microsoft Excel, you have to make use of formulas. It is also an essential tool for programmers and software developers for them to achieve desired results. There are various functions in Microsoft Excel, and these functions are formulas in order to achieve your results. We'll be considering a few of them, like the if function, which performs a logical comparison between two values. At the end of the day, the result is either true or false. The SUMIF function, which sums the values in a range to meet the criteria that you specify. The COUNTIF function, which of course is a statistical function that counts the number of cells to meet a particular criteria. A vertical lookup, also referred to popularly as VLOOKUP, makes Excel search for a certain value in a column, or the HLOOKUP, which is the horizontal lookup, in a row in order to return a value from a different column, a different row, or a different sheet. Rand between is called random between, which returns a random integer number between the numbers specified. Absolute reference maintains the original cell reference when you copy it. The cell reference is locked by putting a $sign before the cell and colon references. Maximum, of course, returns the largest value in a function, and minimum returns the smallest value in the function. Of course, we'll also be looking at the pivot table, which is a very powerful data summarization tool that makes summarization and reporting of data very flexible and easy. Hi there. Welcome to this lecture, and we'll be talking about how to navigate through Microsoft Excel using various shortcuts and formulas. Remember, we said Microsoft Excel is a formula language, so before you're able to get anything, you need to understand the formula to use. As discussed in the last class, we'll be looking at few functions or formulas to help us walk through Excel. But first of all, I would like to show you a quick way to highlight your data when you have a large number of data, and to get to the bottom of your data from the top. As we can see, we have a large data here with 8,400 rows. Typically, with your mouse, you can scroll through the Microsoft Excel sheet to get to the bottom of your data set. But this is going to take a whole lot of time. There's an easy way to do it. What you need to do is to press your control button and your arrow down button, and it takes you to the bottom of your data set. Same way, to get to the top of the data set, you press your control button and your arrow up button, and it takes you to the top of your data set. Now, to highlight this whole data, all you need to do, instead of dragging down, is press your control button, your shift button, and your arrow forward. What does it do? It highlights your header, and then arrow down highlights the whole data down to row 8,400. That way, you've been able to highlight your data set in split seconds. Now let's get into our functions. Remember, we talked about the if command, the SUMIF command, the COUNTIF, the maximum and the minimum. We also talked about VLOOKUP and the random between function. There's an additional function that has been added here, and it's called the nested if. The nested if command allows you to use multiple if functions to achieve the desired result. So let's get on with it. We are going to be taking :F as our subject today, as our focus for this class. And so for the if command, if cell F2, F is the colon, 2 is the row. So if cell F2 equals express A, which is the shipment mode, we would rate express A 5 star. We would rate regular A 4 star. And we would rate delivery truck 3 star. So with the if command, if :F2 equals express A, we would rate it at 5 star. If it is not express A, we would rate it at 3 star. With the nested if command, if :F2 equals express A, we would rate it at 5 star. If :F2 equals regular A, we would rate it at 4 star. And if it doesn't equal any of the two, we would rate it at 3 star. So let's try that. We are starting with the if command. Remember, if you're going to type a formula on Microsoft Excel, you start with equal to sign. So equal if F2. If F2 equals regular A. So remember, when you're typing a text in your formula, you put the apostrophe. So if F2 equal regular A, comma, apostrophe, four star. If not, 3 star. Oh, sorry. Yep. Remember to always put the apostrophe and enter. Now, remember we saw F2 to be express A. And now the formula says if F2 is regular A, give it a 4 star. If not, give it a 3 star. Obviously, F2 is not regular A, it is express A, so it gave it a 3 star. But with the nested if, we start with the equal to. If F2 equal express A, give it a 5 star. If F2 equal regular A, comma, give it a 4 star. If it doesn't equal any of the two, give it a 3 star. It gave it a 5 star because F2 equals express A. So that is the advantage of the if command. We're going to the sum if. Another thing I need you to take note is when you type in your formula, Microsoft Excel guides you through. So the first guide is, what is the range? Remember I said our subject today is the :F, which is the shipment mode. So that is our range. Now, what is the criteria? After you put in your command, the criteria is, let's use regular A. I think I like regular A. It's less expensive, I guess. Regular A. So what do I want to do? I want to get the total sum of regular A on :E, comma. Now, what is the sum range? The sum range is E2 to E, it's 400. It's going to give me the total sum of only regular A, and that is 11 million. We can also try this for, let's try with Express Air. Sum if what is the range? The range is F2 through F8400, comma, Express Air. So what is the total sale for Express Air? Total sale that passed through Express Air, comma, sale is colon E2 through E8400, close the bracket, and give us 11.8. Now, what does COUNTIF do? Remember again, Excel helps you. What is the range? We want to count the total number of regular air in the shipment mode. How many times did clients prefer regular air? F2 through F8400, comma, regular air, and you close the brackets. Regular air in this period was used 6,270 times. What about Express Air? If we want to try with the Express Air was used 9,803 times. Now, the maximum function simply returns the maximum number in a range. So we want to get the maximum number in sales, or better still, we're using D2 through D8400. What's the maximum number here? 50. And what is the minimum number here? Should be 1. Yep. And this is how to use these basic functions in Excel. They are pretty straightforward and easy if you practice it well. Now let's go on to our exercise. Now it's time to practice and learn about absolute reference. Let me increase the size of this so that we can see it clearly. Alright, so we see an exercise here. A client wants to get an opinion about a new product that he launched. For the 4 years, there were 3 status feedback from our clients. A number of them approved, a number of them disapproved, and a number of them had no opinion. The total count for this data is 600. And for the 4 years, 200 people approved. For the 4 years, 300 people disapproved, and 100 people didn't have an opinion. Moreover, for the first year, we got only 120 feedback. Second year, 180 feedback. Third year, 126 feedback. And fourth year, 174 feedback. Now, how do we do this? What we need to do is this multiplied by this divided by this. It gives us the number of people that are approved. But here, the essence of absolute reference is to ensure that you put your formula once and you drag it down and the right formula cuts across. If I drag this down, I get the wrong information. If I drag this here, I get the wrong information. Remember we said the absolute reference allows you to put in your $sign to lock a particular cell reference. Now we are going to try that. We need to know the colon to lock and the row to lock to ensure that we get and arrive at the right formula. If we lock colon H, we would be sure that H5, which is this, is locked. if we lock colon H, that means when we drag from year 1 to year 4, colon H remains. What changes is the row. And then if we lock D8 being year 1, D8 being the total for year 1, what we need to lock here is the row and not the colon, because if you lock the row, it locks 120, but it doesn't lock D. So let me just practicalize it so we understand what I'm saying. So you put in your $sign in front of 5. You put in your $sign. Sorry, you lock your colon for the first one. You lock your row for the second one. And then you lock both the row and the colon, because H8 is 600. Now, what you've successfully done is when you drag this, it gives you this, and when you drag it down, it gives you the right answer. So absolute reference allows you to think through, what row do I need to lock and what colon do I need to lock, so that when I drag down my formula, I arrive at the same answer all through. Please go back to this exercise and try it over again. The next exercise, almost similar to the opinion about the product, but this time in year 1, we have year 1 occur twice, year 2 occur twice, year 3 occur twice, and year 4 occur twice. So we want to get the sum of the total amount from year 1 to year 4 and the number of times, regardless of the number of times it occurred. Typically, sum is to get the total number in a range. Our range is E13 through E20. That is 420. Now we want to get the total number of approved. What formula do you think we would use here? We're going to use the sum if formula. So sum the range. What is the range? The range is D13 to D20. Sum that range. Approve, right? And E13 to E20. Now we want to get the total sum of approved in colon E, 150. We use the same thing for this. So equals sum if D13 to D20, comma, disapprove, comma, E13 to E20, 160. And of course the last one, sum if D13 through D20, no opinion, E13 through E20. The same thing goes with the count if function. Count if. So let's count how many times D13 to D20, how many times we have approve. Okay. How many times we have disapprove, and of course how many times we have no opinion three times. So now we can move to the VLOOKUP function. Now this is a very amazing function. I really love it so much. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to be helping the principal for the school to call this set of numbers. Now we're going to be making use of the VLOOKUP function and the random between. Random between function returns random numbers from a range that you have picked. So what random in between does? Very easy. This is the formula for random between. So we want to look at the range from serial number 1 to 20 from top to bottom. That's random between. So it lets you pick random numbers. So if you press your F9, it changes numbers automatically. But what do we want to do? We want the random between to pick random names here so that we can VLOOKUP the names to the phone numbers. So first thing to do is to VLOOKUP and then random between. Yes, and of course we have 20 set of numbers. So bottom is 1, top is 2. Nevertheless, we want to VLOOKUP. So what do we want to VLOOKUP? We want to VLOOKUP the number and the name. And because we have picked 2 colons, we put number 2, and we want exact match. So you either type false and close your bracket, or what I like to do, 0, close my bracket. It has come up with Nicholas. Now what do I need to do? I press F9 and it changes the names by default, but I want the phone numbers also. So we now use the actual VLOOKUP. Now I want to VLOOKUP this random number with this set of data to get the phone numbers. How many cells did I pick? 2, 2, 0. 0 is equal to false, and it brings the exact match. And so I press enter. And so when the name changes, when I press F9, the phone number changes also. Pretty straightforward. Pivot table is an excellent tool for summarizing data, large amounts of data. Let's get on to it. Remember, for you to highlight your data cell, you need to press your Control button, your Shift button, arrow front and arrow down. Now for you to insert a pivot table, you go to the menu bar, click on Insert, click on Pivot Table. Ensure the range is selected, and where you want to place your pivot table is on a new worksheet. You click on OK. Now your field items and set comes out and your Excel sheet is out, and then you can begin to summarize your data. First of all, I'm going to drag this down to province. I'm going to drag province to rows. Let's see if I put it columns. Let's see. Okay, so I put it on rows. Let me put sales made on values. order dates. Or let me take order date to colons. Or better still, let me remove it. Take it out and I go to order dates. Order dates here. I'll put it on colons. Yeah, so this is amazing. So what this is trying to tell me here is in Alberta in the year 2009, 2010, 2011 and 2012, these are the sales that were made. And for every other province, it makes it very easy. In summary, this is what pivot table is all about. So you can play with the data, and of course, after you've brought out a table, you've done a pivot table, you can also do a chart. So before we do a chart, I'm going to take you through, for example, let's get the total sale between January and December for 2010. You come here, you untick, and then you tick 2010. So you brought out the sales for 2010 only. But because of the charts, I'm gonna do for 2009, 2010, 2011, and 2012. But this time I'm just gonna do it for Alberta, for British Columbia, and for Ontario. And then also I want to get for January, February, and March, which is the first quarter. So what do? Go to insert, table, or let's make use of line, and let's pick on this. Easy. We have a graph. So I'm going to teach us something here to build a quick dashboard. For you to build a quick dashboard, then you have to have different information in place. First of all, open a new sheet. Now that you've opened a new sheet, so I'm going to title this, I'll just give it a title, Q1 Sales. I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste on my new sheet. Yeah. Now we've gotten Q1 sales. So let's get sales for Q2 on tick. April, May, June. So let's get for let's get for the same province. Insert. Let's have these charts. And then you insert title. Q2 sales. Q2 sales. Then you copy or paste. All right, let's get for Q3. And okay, so instead of getting for Q3, let's look for another information. Go to your pivot table and analyze and bring out your field items and sets. Yeah, so what we need to get ship mode for each province. For each of the years. So ship mode. I think that should be here. Yeah. Ship mode should also be here. And then we take out sales. So now what this is telling us is in the year 2009, 29 people in Alberta made use of the delivery truck and 135 people made use of regular air. Now, should we use a pie chart? Let's see. I'm not sure if pie chart will work. Let's make use of this. Okay, this is not gonna work. Let's make use of, let's get a pivot chart and let's see. Yeah, so this is a great pivot chart. Or let's see what other charts we can use. Okay, this is super. Copy and do paste here, and I think we should do one more or two more. Okay, so let's say in the year 2012. Great. In the year 2012 in Ontario. Let's see how many people. So we're gonna use the pie chart here. Great. Delivery truck, no. Okay, so format, select data. Okay, this is funny. Let's see. Great. So let's change the chart type to this, and we can pick a design here, and of course copy, paste here, and I think we can do one more, and we're good. Or better still, let's use this information. So now we have various charts, and we want to submit this report to the management. So come to view, remove grid lines. I always love to remove my lines, my outline. No outline for my graphs. No outline. No outline. And no outline. And so I can decide to change the color to this, or let's do something related to blue, very light blue. Yeah, and then or whatever, try gray. No, not this, I'm talking of like light gray. All right. Or we can just leave it as white. And this is beautiful, so we can find a topic, a title, management report for 2009 to 2012 sales. Increase the fonts. All right. Okay. All right, and this is just basic analysis, very easy. You can make use of different graphs, you can make use of different information to get your results. All you have to do is just be creative about it. Thank you for joining the class.